This is the MEGAVALANCHE. It's been described as the craziest race in the world, pitting man against nature in the harsh, unforgiving conditions of the French Alps. I signed up to take part even though I really don't know what I'm doing. Nothing about me fits the profile of a mountain bike racer, let alone one that can tackle one of the harshest races in the world.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to episode 2 of Mountain Biking Misfit to MEGAVALANCHE Racer. And I am so pleased it's February. Why am I pleased it's February? Because January was just rubbish. It was just rubbish. The weather was terrible. I felt like I was going backwards in my training. I was trying hard, and towards the end of the month I felt worse. I felt worse than the beginning of the month. And then that absolute bombshell hit when the doctor said they wouldn't or couldn't, in fairness to them, give me this certificate. So I made a call to a couple of local doctors. I wasn't hoping for that much. And literally the day I made a call, I got a call back from this receptionist at the doctor's just down the road, who said, "Oh, we've got a doctor here, says, what are you doing it for? Come in and see him tonight." And I thought, this is too good to be true. And I went and chatted to this doctor. I don't know if I should say his name. Rob Davis, fellow mountain biker. Literally that night, after he'd done all his surgery hours, he got me in, gave me a full exam. I mean, not me having to buy him dinner, full exam, but it wasn't a million miles away. Signed my certificate and just charged me a nominal fee. Top bloke, thank you so much for that. And again, part of the wider mountain bike community. He did tell me I was sort of insane for trying it, but that's one problem at a time. So that is my certificate. So that was the absolute thing I was paranoid and terrified about last time, has been sorted. So this month, what am I going to do? I need to be keep at it. So on my list, fitness is a big deal. I'm going to give you an update on that. And I think a lot of it is I just need to be getting out there and riding. But hopefully now we're in February, the weather's going to be a bit nicer. So let's start training. Hey, guess what? It's raining again. It's February the 11th or something. I'm out with my buddy James. I am really looking forward to spring because I'm doing the miles, I'm getting the miles in, but this pouring rain, it's about 8 AM on a Sunday morning, it's not easy. I think it's very important to enjoy your training and really take a moment to appreciate just how beautiful nature is and how relaxing it can be being on your bicycle. You do get your money's worth out of a trail, don't you? See, this is MEGAVALANCHE training. Yeah. I'm doing this for TotalMTB. I'll be plastering the link everywhere. TotalMTB is supported by a number of brands throughout the year, and they just literally one day after the other, they keep popping up, getting in contact and saying, hey, can we support you? Can we help you? I'm not after any free stuff, although if Porsche would like to become a sponsor, I'm your man. I'm not after any free stuff, but if they could they've just offered to share this video and send me stuff. And I've got to tell you, it's really, really very much appreciated. It really is. So on to my training, and there was one thing a guy said to me. He said, check your heart rate. He has this thing where you take 180 and you minus your age. Let's say it's 130 for me. He says, and that should be your maximum heart rate for this zone for when you're training for fitness and weight loss, etc. And I realized I'd just been going out and I'd been pushing as hard as I could, getting up those hills, and it wasn't the right kind of training. So I really, really needed to work on that. And as I told you last time, I needed to improve my upper body strength. Now, in order to be tough and manly, I thought a really quick and cheap and easy way was just to get some tattoos. I thought it would make me look really cool and rugged and tough. In reality, I think I more look like a vegan pastry chef or an artisanal baker or gluten-free baker. So then I decided to go to the gym, and I went to the gym, and this lovely chap at the gym showed me some exercises, some pull-up exercises, but I hate going to the gym and I couldn't get in the habit. And then I thought, why don't I invent the world's greatest pull-up bar, the mountain bike handlebar pulley up bar thingy, patent pending. So this is it, and well, this was my thought process. This is what I'm working with if I don't put my stomach in for a photo. It's not good, is it? Yeah, that's right, ladies. I am cut under here. I think that's the right word. I'm not actually bulked out this much, it's just that it's really cold today and I've just put on my really warm jumper. So what else did I promise you I'd keep you updated with? Well, it's the cost to enter the Mega Avalanche, and everyone goes, oh my goodness, it's only 65 quid to enter, but that's not the real cost. So I promised I'd give you a breakdown of how much it really costs. And it's probably worth explaining how I'm getting there. What I've done is I found a Lee. Lees are really useful. I mean, they're very nice and all that, and they're very accomplished riders, and they look super cool in videos like, you know, images like this. But Lees also have done this race before. They kind of know how to get there. So what is our plan? So what did we get up to last? And what is our plan? Our plan is, this is England. Lee, that's the Isle of Wight. This is kind of France. That's Alpe d'Huez. So, I live here in Gloucestershire, Lee lives here in the Isle of Wight, so this is our plan to save costs. We're not going to fly. What we're going to do is, Lee is going to come into the mainland, and we're going to meet up here near Guildford. I'm going to drive here. We're going to get in one car, so we're going to actually drive there. We're going to share the cost. So what we're going to do is we're going to meet up. We're going to go to Dover, and we're going to get a hotel in Dover where the Channel crossing is, the Channel tunnel we can drive through. So we've got some cost there. We're going to stay at that hotel. We're going to cross over, and we're going to drive all the way to Alpe d'Huez, and we're going to stay in a hotel there. So what are the costs? Let me read that. Where do we get up to? So we had the race entry. We had the jersey I bought, the insurance, the lift pass, and the beer mug. I don't even drink beer, so anyway. On top of that, what's happened is I've got my wonderful doctor's certificate for 30 quid. We're staying in the Travel Lodge in Dover, which is £32 each. The hotel in Aptwes, we're sharing the cost, it's a 2-bedroom, etc., is £308.85. That's for each of us. And the other cost I put on there, because it's something you wouldn't expect to already have, is that 661 body protection I showed you last time was £84.98. So on top of this is going to be toll roads as you go through France, petrol, eating and drinking, etc. to get there. So I'm going to add those costs on. But at the moment, if you want to enter the Mega Avalanche and you're going to drive across the Channel Tunnel, oh, I haven't got the cost of crossing the Channel Tunnel, which is what I need to do. But so far, getting to there, staying overnight and going down to the hotel, the total cost is £625.74. So my initial prediction that entering the Mega Avalanche was going to be about £1,000, I don't think it's going to be far off, but I'll update you next month. Okay, back with the training, and tomorrow is going to be a good day. Tomorrow I'm going to Bike Park Wales, which is an awesome place. I put the uplift because, not just because I'm lazy, but actually I want to try and get in as many runs as I can, because I want to try and mimic the pressure that's going to be on the arms, etc., and coming through the hands, etc., and doing that over wet Welsh rock. How do I know it's going to be wet? The forecast is bright sunshine tomorrow, but it's Wales. So what I'm going to do is, it's about skills. This is I'm only going to do blues and maybe some red trails. There are jumps, there are drops. It could be a bit icy, and there are lots and lots of rocks in Wales if you've ever been there. So let's head to Bike Park Wales and see how my body holds up. Let's go.
I've been waiting all my life for someone like you. I would watch the days go by, wasted and blue. I was out of use. Now every day, every night, every moment with you. I'm walking on air, and every day, every way, I feel I can't lose. I wanna shout it out, ain't no limit. I wanna shout it out to the world. You got me all worked up, got me spinning. I'm crazy for love, crazy for love, crazy for love. Crazy for love. Crazy for love. Never lost, never down.
It's another training day, and it's a much more exciting training day than normal because we are at Bike Park Wales. It was snowing 20 minutes ago. It felt like jagged spikes going into our eyes as we were going downhill, and today is all about getting as many downhill runs in as I can because I want to see how much I need to work on my shoulders and my hands. And we've done 3 runs now, and I got to say, the pressure, I've got to learn to grip more lightly on the bars because the pressure is pretty intense. So we're about to hit another trail, and I'll check back in with you. See you in a bit.
This is kind of a backseat on a fire because we were doing slowly and then suddenly lots of rocks and my little hands and legs just struggling, but this is so good. Well, a bit sketchy.
Now, one of the things I really need to work on are my skills. It's not an elaborate ruse. I'm actually really technically proficient and I'm playing up to the camera. I'm rubbish. So I went to see this professional coach, this wonderful lady called Rach Wright, and I didn't video the main part of my lesson because I was really trying to concentrate, and I've got a huge amount of bad habits, which we tried to work through. It was a wonderful session, and I'll give you a little snippet at the end, but just manage your expectations. Rome was not built in a day.
Okay, I'm at the end of the lesson with Rach, and unless I clear this by 80 feet, I think we can consider this a failure in teaching. I'll say no more about it. Not interested in excuses. We're not at home to miss excuse, are we? No.
You didn't say that at the start. I didn't know this was a pass or fail kind of thing.
Look, I'm going to try, dear viewers, to clear that stick. Watch in wonderment.
This is where I see. Let's see what happens.
So this is the very end of the session. Absolutely fantastic. Look at her looking shy. This is brilliant. Everything's been explained in a really simple and pragmatic way and build up over stages, which has really helped me because I'm very stupid. It takes a while to get stuff in, but I've got a really good base now, really good base to practice. Thank you so much for that.
You're too kind. It's been fun. I'm going home for gin.
Yeah, Rachel's now resigned from teaching ever again. I'm sorry about that, but this has been great. I would recommend anybody come down here, get in touch. Core skills are so overlooked, and I've been the worst person for doing that. And this is what you should do at the beginning of your mountain bike journey, not when you're an old sod like me. So get that lesson booked.
Okay, we're a fair way through the month of February, and actually I tell you what, my fitness, I think it's getting better. I think this thing about slightly longer rides but at a lower intensity seems to be helping, especially with my pull-up bar, because I'm feeling really macho. So one of my other rubbish there. One of my other goals for this month was I entered an event called the Winter Warrior. It's not a race, it's just a guided mountain bike ride. For 50k, so 30 odd miles, because I thought that'd be a really good test. It was an especially good test because it was pouring down and had been for weeks. We're in the middle of this terrible storm that had red and amber weather warnings for wind, etc. So these were really tough miles. Let's have a look. Good morning everybody, it's the 20th of Feb. 2/3 of the way through, second month of training. Left the house at 5 AM on my way to a ride, a 50k ride with some buddies of mine. It's going to be a trail ride, so very much about a steady pace, just getting the mileage in my legs. So the wind is just crazy. It's going to be like 40-50 miles an hour. This storm we're in the middle of at the moment, and I've got my tri-spoke wheels, which rather than the wind passing through is just going to absolutely sideswipe me. So this could be hilarious and massively dangerous, so hey, stay tuned.
Just call you when the moon is rising. I'm craving every moment with you. I can't just need you when the tides are turning. I cherish every second with you. I've got to hold on to your heart every day of the week, every week of the year. I've got to rewind it.
So I really hope we're some way through this, because I feel like we've been doing nothing but going uphill, but it's a good training ride. The weather's against us, the conditions are against us, but we just don't care because we're out on our bikes having a laugh, and that's what it's all about. So yeah, isn't it weird that we managed to do a circular route and yet somehow been climbing all day?
What is the mystery of Misfit?
Yeah, you get all of me. Baby, I give you all of me. Please take what you want from me. All of me. All of me. All of me. Baby, I give you all of me.
Okay, so the Winter Warrior. I mean, it was nightmare. It was just so muddy. It was like, it was like torture. But we had a huge laugh. I mean, God, just go out and ride with your mates. It was almost so muddy and so ridiculous. It made it more fun, and I was with such a good bunch of guys. It was fantastic. So looking at the stats, and this was the bit I was interested in. So I've been trying to get fitter. I've lost a little bit of weight, which is good. I've been doing my pull-up bar thingy, and I've been doing slightly longer rides but at a lower heart rate. So I was fascinated to look at the stats for this ride. So let's have a quick look. So, you know, I was riding for 5 hours. Now, Ben says I've got to be prepared to ride for 2 hours. Now, this wasn't high intensity, but there was a lot of climbing in this trail. So 30.4 miles. Calories largely irrelevant. Average moving speed 7.6 miles per hour, which anyone who's a roadie, that'll be terrible, but trust me, that is a pretty good going, because I'm normally 8.5, 9 miles an hour for a normal ride. This was through the mud. We were actually having to pedal downhill because it was so muddy. So what I really wanted to focus on, and it's on this last one, is the heart rate. So in previous months, my maximum heart rate has been 192 when I've been pushing. And I've been having an average heart rate of well over sort of 140, 150. Now for a 5-hour ride, my heart rate, the average was 106 and the maximum was 152, and I am absolutely chuffed to bits with that. That is, I think, a very visual representation or data-driven representation of me getting fitter, which led me to thinking I was then getting, my legs were empty towards the end of the ride. So I think the issue I have now is, which is a much easier one to solve, is it's about fuel, not fitness. So I wasn't out of breath during the ride, but I was getting more and more tired and my legs were fitting, they were empty. And that's because I wasn't fueling properly. I didn't have enough bars. I wasn't, religiously every half an hour, every 40 minutes, having half an energy bar or some sort of drink, etc. So that's a really easy fix for me. But I was chuffed to bits that I got a 30-mile ride under my belt in awful conditions. And I had a bloody good time doing it. So that was February. It is now 5 months to go. Oh God, March is tomorrow. Is the 1st of March, and I'm just fed up of riding in the cold and the wet. It's doing my head in. And I had an idea. I thought, boom, here's an idea. Why don't I get some training abroad? And the reason you're going to hit, you might as well make it into a drinking game right now, the number of times I'm going to say boom, because I found a mountain bike adventure holiday setup, and it's called Boom Adventures, and it's run by Susie and Ben Moore in Alicante, or just outside Alicante. They have 4-star accommodation. It is a week of mountain biking training with their pro coach. There's uplift into the hills. It's gonna be about 20 degrees. I'm taking factor 50 because, quite frankly, I burn under a 60-watt light bulb, so this is essential. And Ben Moore, pro racer Ben Moore, the restraining order didn't work. He may even be there for me to put him in his place and teach him a thing or two. So that's February done. March training starts in the sun. Boom.